On the show today, we talked to Heidi about channeling. Welcome back, Heidi.
Hello.
And just for the fun of it, our symbol today is going to be birth. And as always, we interpret the dreams you sent in during the week. Welcome to So You Think You're Awake, the show about dreams and their meanings. I'm Michael Sheridan, and with me in studio is Heidi Brooke, our resident medium.
Hello.
Susan is ill today. She thinks she has the flu, so she's listening in. Hello, Susan. Get well soon. We need you back in the studio so I can pick on you. Thanks to everyone who sent dreams to RadioShow at dream-analysis.com. Please continue to send them in, as we always need them for the show. I mean that. Don't hold back. You can always jump the queue and call us on 425-373-5527, and we'll analyse your dream, connect with your guides, or provide healing or life coaching advice. So the number again, if you want to especially call in for Heidi, because that's why she's here, 425-373-5527. We're going to have a look at some dreams, and then we're going to talk about channeling after the break. But first of all, congratulations on you've brought your 6-day-old baby with you. So
she's out in the lobby being minded by my sister, who volunteered, thankfully.
So that's really good. And you picked the name Sadie. Everybody was wondering what the name was going to be.
So was I up until, I think, finally 3 days before she was born. I was like, okay, Sadie.
And I thought you would have taken a longer break than just the day to have the baby.
So did I, but I feel great. Obviously I feel like I did just have a baby, but my energy is wonderful. I've had 2 other children, and the recovery time was a lot longer for them. I think on the 3rd day, I feel back to normal already, except for some tiredness, obviously.
And I know it's not a concoction of drugs because you're not taking any.
No, I'm just total bliss. That's all it is.
Yeah, excellent. She's obviously done something good for you. So we're going to have a look at dreams, and then you're going to chime in and correct me when I get some things wrong. But I see we have a caller straight away, so maybe we'll just take the call. We've got Missy in Linwood. Hello, Missy.
Hi, thank you for my call.
So have you got a dream or a question for Heidi?
Yeah, actually, I do have a dream that I thought was funny. So we go gambling sometimes, and we have a certain amount of play money that we save, and then we go play, and we don't spend any more. And if we win, I always put the winnings aside, and we don't play. We don't play those usually either. So anyway, my dream was that I was gambling, and I put my thing in. I hit the button a couple times, and then the third time, this large picture of a feather came up, and I was like, "Oh, that's funny." And then the next thing you know, I'm like a winner, the jackpot, but of course not that. It was like $9 million. I was like, oh, that's $9 million. And then I looked again, and I was like, it could be $9 billion. It was so funny.
Terrific. First of all, terrific dream. The symbols are really, really good. And it's not about money, unfortunately. Although,
I wish, right?
Well, kind of not, because you don't get to take money with you when you go. So really, this is about something that's much more important than that. The feather as a symbol means a connection with your higher self. It's always about something to do with the spiritual realm or the heavens, you could say, because it, as a symbol, signifies being in the air, being higher, all that sort of stuff. And so it's a really good symbol. And you say you got that on your 3rd attempt. So this would be if you're looking at doing spiritual development or a particular thing that maybe is a particular focus, and you're saying, okay, it might be a bit of a gamble. So what would you be looking at that would be a bit of a gamble right now? Maybe doing a course, and the gamble would be, if I spend the money, am I going to get out and out of it? So it doesn't have to be like a big gamble, just something where it makes you wonder whether you should do it or not do it. That's so it's going to be something along those lines, but you probably already know what it is. This dream is saying it's going to pay off. Absolutely, it's going to pay off. And it's saying, but you don't have to, you aren't always going to get the dividends on the first thing you do. It might take a few, and then you really get the dividends, but you've still got to do them. It's like in your dream, if you didn't play the first 2 attempts, you wouldn't be there at the machine to win on the 3rd. So it's basically encouraging you to do that. And then you say you got $9 million or $9 billion, and 9 in a dream is really good. It means that you've you're an advanced soul is one way to describe it. It means you've lived many lifetimes and you've used your spiritual abilities in other lifetimes. So for you, it becomes natural, and you have. But it's also, I often say, it's like a kick in the butt. It says, look, you have a spiritual purpose that you came here to achieve, and when you have the nines show up in your dream, it's saying, look, please stick to it, because that's the whole reason you're here. You're here to pay off. Generally, lots of tiny little pieces of karma, but lots and lots and lots of them. And you're here to pay them all off by doing something that's deeply spiritual in a way. But of course, realize that when I say spiritual, it doesn't necessarily mean anything religious. It's, something that's at your core. It could be writing, it could be singing, it could be music, it could be, anything. There's lots and lots of things.
Because I've been putting off writing this book. I have a story idea.
Okay. So we finally got it. And so then you've put it off. Have you done classes? Are you thinking of doing something to get you, to finally do it?
Well, I've written a lot of the juicy part of it. It's just I'm stumped on the issues of learning how to write, I suppose you
Okay.
could say.
Well, since I'm a writer too, if you write to me, michael@dream-analysis.com, I will give you some tips and pointers of where you can go on the web and find really good information that gets you over some of the obstacles, because everybody's obstacle is different. Some people are looking for the thread of a story. Some people are looking for how do I commit to the writing, and so on and so on. But I'm just wondering if Heidi gets anything extra on this. She's just smiling at me.
No, I was getting something to do with the book before, and then you said it.
Okay.
But I think so you said you already started writing some of it?
Oh, yeah.
And
I have been over the last many years. I just haven't put it together.
I think they're saying it's so close to being finished that it's the extra leap. And I think you're already on your third try to get it finished. So is that what the dream is saying?
It could be. But we you know what it's about. This is the beauty. You know what it's about. You know that your higher self, by this feather, is telling you this is something that's going to pay dividends, spiritual dividends.
Oh, and they used to write with a feather.
Even better. How?
I really like the dream.
Are you 102? You wrote with a feather.
It must have been a pretty pen, though.
So your writing must be lovely. Anyway. Okay, well, you know what it is, unless you've got something else to add.
And it's going to be, so the book and the writing will be, my first one will be successful?
It's going to be...
I already got a follow-up for it, and then I have two other ideas about two other different books, too.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Well, it's definitely going to be, it's going to pay off. That's what it's saying. But don't look at it as the first one must pay off. But the writing
I just want to write it and get it out there.
Yeah. So that's cool. And that then we can say the reason that you had the multiple attempts before you hit the win is to just get you to keep doing it. And the win is, though, that it makes you connect with your higher self, and that's ultimately what it's all about. It's not about anything else. But of course, when it makes you connect with your higher self, then it will connect with other people. But that's not the goal. Ultimately, you're not doing it to connect with other people. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want it to be able to touch other people so that when they can read it and say and feel it and say, you know what, been there, done that, and then maybe they might find some peace within themselves the way that I had.
That's exactly it. That's how it works. So once you connect with yourself and that gets onto the page, then it will connect with other people.
Great. I will definitely email you. Thank you so very much.
You're very welcome. Thanks for your call. And
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We have Sherry on the line now as well from Canada. Hello, Sherry.
Hi, everybody. How are you?
Very good. Very good.
Hi, Sherry.
Good. Congratulations, Heidi, on Sadie.
Thank you.
I have, and both of these are super short. I just have a question for Heidi and a very short dream. Is that okay if I do?
Sure.
Yeah, I think they're saying do the dream first. Are you going?
The dream first?
Yeah.
Okay. So I dreamt last night that I was writing down fifth dimension, and then I was trying to achieve it, and I only could get to the fourth dimension. And I have no idea what I mean by fourth or fifth dimension. I have no idea what it means. I just kept writing it down and kept trying to achieve it.
Okay. It's unusual, and This is going to be about connecting beyond the astral plane. And I've done several of your dreams before because you've done my course, and I've never seen anything like this in your dreams. So I would take this as really, really good. Because it's like a very high connection, but it's a connection that has a very physical component to it. So, you know, you go to the spirit plane, you can do all sorts of things, but this is like going somewhere, but it will affect you on the physical plane. And I don't know what it is. So I'm hoping Heidi's getting information. So here it's kind of unusual. It's counting your chakras not from the bottom one. So the fifth is going to outside your head. And normally we just go first chakra out. So crown chakra's halfway in our body and halfway out. And that's why it's our spiritual chakra, because it's halfway in there. And the next one is the astral plane. And then the one above it, I don't know what it is, but I think that's where you're trying to. Okay. So that's where you're going. So
interesting.
It is interesting. It makes me want to read something about it now.
Better write it down, send it in.
Yeah, I've never heard of fourth and fifth dimension.
Yeah, so. Well, I saw somebody, and I even wrote it in my book, I saw somebody going to the causal plane, and I saw them stepping out on the chakras, moving their consciousness up the chakras. But,
so I'm hearing that the fourth dimension is where you can materialize things in the fourth dimension and bring it down.
It's out of my league. I don't know.
Neither do I, but that's just what they said. So thought I'd throw that out there.
So the show that confuses.
So what's your question then? They did say the dream first, so I'm hoping they're somewhat related.
Well, you both know that I'm in the process, a very long process of cutting the ties with my dad.
Yes.
And I wanted to know if there was any indication of when I can close that process out.
Yeah, before you even asked that, they were saying that. So have you had a lot of healing done already? Do you feel better?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because they were saying it's about time, but I would give it another 2 weeks is what they're saying. And you can even email Michael, or you have my email, at Heidi@angelsontheline.com, and ask me in 2 weeks, and I'll just double check for you.
Perfect.
But yeah, you're certainly on the way. Don't stop doing what you're doing. You know, the same advice as last time. But continue to heal your body. And I don't know if they said that last time, but it's going to take about 3 years for you to be fully recovered. But you're going to start feeling the benefits from now.
Okay.
Did you say? I think you emailed and said you got some spiritual healing work done. Is that right?
I'm actually taking a healer's training course, and in the course of that, I'm getting a lot of healing sessions done.
Oh, good. Well, that's working.
Okay,
so don't stop doing that. That must be what they're referring to. Good.
Okay.
So 2 weeks.
Thank you both very much.
Great.
2 weeks. I can't wait.
Because last time I didn't get any time frame, so that makes me very happy for you.
Good. Thank you. I love what you guys do.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for that call. And I'm going to have to look this up or find somebody. I'm bound to know somebody that knows these things. I'll find somebody and add some clarity to that next week, because it is interesting. And
that'd be awesome. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Bye. All right. So what time are we? We're good. So let's have a look at some dreams. Well, before I do that, I have a question from somebody. She says, hello, Michael. I read your book last night and I thought it was brilliant. Well, that's because it is. I would like to know who my guides are. I've started to meditate and would like to know how to start calling them in. As it is now, I am not aware of any guides around me, but I did have an out-of-body experience where I felt myself leaving my body and I felt the energy in between. It was an amazing experience, and it happened in Christmas 2014, but nothing has happened since. And she says, also, do you do readings by email? Well, that's obviously to you, Heidi. And the questions to you, too.
No bias there about your book.
That's a good way to make sure I read it. I'm just kidding. We read them all.
So what I'm hearing about that is, so she's asking how can she see or hear her guides is really what I'm hearing, feel them around her. And so what I'm immediately getting is from her guides, and they were here before you even asked the question, is that she is dulling her senses somehow, and I'm not sure exactly how, her physical senses, and she needs to address that first before she is going to see and hear them, or even feel their presence. It's not that they're not around, of course, they are around, and she certainly is getting messages from her higher self in her dreams, and, you know, having the outer body experience. I believe the outer body experience was a a big wake up call for her. They're calling it. She's had several, but that's the one she particularly remembers.
Yeah, they're usually to show you that there's substance to it.
Yeah.
And then you think, oh, great, I'm there. And then you spend the rest of your life trying to get back to that state, that euphoric feeling. Yeah. But there's a lot of work goes into giving you those wake-ups. And
it's funny because whatever she is doing to dull her senses, and it's inadvertently, like it's not something she's intentionally doing, it could be through diet or anything. It's I think she believes it has the effect, it's grounding her, but it's not. It's not grounding her.
Okay.
Yeah, it's doing the opposite, and they don't want to come in, at a heightened sense when you're not grounded. As we've explained before, it's important to be grounded in order to connect.
All right, very good. I hope that helps you, Catherine. It was actually meditating, since she mentions meditating. It was meditating that started it all off for me. I did the Silva Mind Control Method. It was a different course many years ago. It's still a good course, but you have to do 2 courses. And even if you do the 2, you don't get what you used to get in the 1 course some years ago. But it's still good if you do it and then persist with it. So I was doing that, and I was also doing traditional style karate, which is low horse dances, very akin to yoga and things like that. So I was doing grounding work and I was doing meditation, and the 2 together woke me up. So it does work once you persist with it, but you have to do it daily. The meditation has to be a daily practice. But then again, there are times when your guides would say, don't meditate. It's not good for you. So it's not always. So I'm looking at this, and we haven't got to a dream yet. I'm wondering, can I pick one real quickly? And I will, okay. She says, this is from Lisa. She says, I have my best friend's body lying in a tub with a little water. I am keeping it until she needs it. I have to fly on an airplane to deliver it. Now, this is interesting because the tub is a good symbol for the uterus. Keeping a body till you need it, and then she has to fly on an airplane to deliver it. So we have a pun on it there. I pull out my iPhone to Google if I can carry a body in my luggage. Luggage isn't good, but my phone is stuck on some cutesy cartoon meme put there by a boyfriend. I'm able to talk to my friend on the phone to let her know I'm bringing her body back. So it's about communication here as well, and we have the luggage is about baggage that you've picked up. And the cartoon meme put there by your boyfriend, that's not good. We'll get to that in a minute too. Next scene, I'm at the station walking up steps to get to the overhead subway. I find that interesting. Is there such a thing as an overhead subway? Because subway means underneath.
I don't know, the monorail? Yeah.
The stairs narrow and I have to push through a glass door and it's heavy. I stop. The man behind me yells, go. I push through the door. Excellent. Now that's an excellent end to the dream. So despite everything else, the pushing through the glass door is fantastic, and that really tells us what it's about. The dream is saying that you are a psychic. You're being told to push past the resistance, which is the resistance of that door, and make the connection to your higher self, which is what a psychic does. They're not a channel. You can also be a channel if you're a psychic, but a psychic has a good connection to their higher self. So if you already have that, then the door can represent you being asked to create opportunities to use it. So it's either make the connection or create opportunities to use it. And that's going to take you places. Why is it going to take you places? Because it's to a monorail or whatever it is that travels. So that's really good. So the first part, any ideas on the first part, Heidi, how we'd put it all together?
Well, aren't they, the airplane is the symbol for birth?
Well, an airplane landing is an arrival, and that's, you just had one.
Is this delivered the new aspect of herself?
Well, yes. And I would say, but it's 2 things. First of all, describe your friend. What are her traits? And you don't tell us. So you say she's your best friend. Now, the fact that she's your best friend is really good. So they're going to be positive traits because we always have good traits and good thoughts about our best friend. So what are her positive traits? You're being asked to nurture them within yourself. And they're saying there's a bit of work for you to do. There's a bit of pain in getting to where she's at, but it's worth the effort. It's worth the push. And then you need to overcome baggage that you picked up in a relationship with this particular boyfriend. The cartoon meme, cartoons are a childish thing. I mean, children watch them. I still watch them actually, but still, children mostly watch them. And so they indicate having an immature attitude to something, a kind of a childish attitude. So it would mean something went on in that relationship or in a past relationship. It doesn't have to be the same one that you dreamt about, but something went on in a relationship that kind of got you stuck, and you look at it because of that block. you need to, basically you need to overcome that block. That's what the luggage is about, and not look at it in an immature way. And I'm trying to find a way to say this that doesn't feel like a slap in the face, because it's not a slap in the face. The dream is just trying to point out, the level that you're bringing to things. So if you can put that in a better way, Heidi, so we don't lose a listener.
She just needs to let go of some of the baggage from past relationships.
Okay, so maybe it's he was childish. Yeah, this is probably it. So the relationship felt childish to you because of the way he was, and that kind of turned you off. I'd say it's more likely that, and that's why I couldn't find the words the other way around. So deal with that. And then the other thing is, when you look at this whole birth symbol in it, and I was asking, is it about her having a baby and all that? And they're saying, no, it's not that at all. So it's kind of funny. So it's your birth. You came here to do this thing. But it's also, they want you to look at it this way. You're here now, and are you making full use of that fact? You're already in the body. So are you making full use of the fact that you're here and what you're here for? So we're going to leave that one at that, and we're going to take a break, and we will be back with you in a moment.
Have you ever heard the advice to follow your heart, but you aren't sure how to actually do that? I'm Susan Pullen with True Radiance Healing Arts. Your heart is like an inner compass, pointing you in the direction your soul wants you to take. Join me for the art and practice of following your heart, a weekend workshop on how to tune into the guidance of your heart. February 20th and 21st. Find out more at true-radiance.com.
Hello, this is Heidi. How can I help you?
You tell me. You're the psychic.
That's not how it works. I am a medium. I connect to your spirit guides and loved ones and pass on their messages to you.
So why did I call? Use the force, Heidi.
Look, I can get answers to any questions you ask. That's not a problem. They can be about anything: relationships, career, children, finances, anything.
Anything? Okay. What's my favorite color?
Dave, your mom says you're being childish.
For readings with Heidi, go to angelsontheline.com. Okay, listen up. This is important. Do you know your life purpose? Are you psychic? Do your dreams predict your future? Are you one of the X-Men? Your dreams give the answer to 3 of these questions. Find out which 3 by attending Michael Sheridan's Dream Workshop in Seattle on March 5th and 6th. Register at dream-analysis.com.
Have you considered adding a chanting component to your spiritual practice, but you're not quite sure what to sing? Or when you start singing, sometimes your throat starts hurting? I would love to help. Please join me, Nadia Tarnowski, for an open chanting class that will begin on Thursday, February 11th at 7:30 p.m. Classes will meet every other Thursday. Please come whenever you feel called. Go to www.sacredcompassion.com for more information. All are welcome.
No shirt, no shoes? No problem. Come as you are. Alternative Talk, 1150 a.m.
Welcome back to So You Think You're Awake with Michael Sheridan and Heidi Brooke. Our show is about dreams and their meanings, and our phone number is 425-373-5527 if you have a dream or a question for Heidi. That's 425-373-5527. And we have Mary on the line from Bellevue. Hello, Mary. Hello, Mary. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Great. You have a dream, I believe.
Yes, I had a dream last night. It was kind of strange. I'm in a tree. It's like multi-trunked, and the wind, I guess it's daytime, gray skies, and the wind starts blowing. And I'm not in a tree alone. There's like a cougar in the tree with me.
Oh.
And when the wind starts blowing hard, I climb down because the trees are swaying. They're not breaking, but it's blowing really hard, so I'm thinking they're going to break. And I get down to the ground, and I look up, and the cougar's still up there, and I'm watching to see if the wind blows him out of the tree. And he jumps out, falls out, I'm not sure, lands on the ground next to me, and I'm looking at the cougar, wondering if it's hurt, and it starts running away. I'm still watching it to see if it's got a broken leg or something, and that's when I wake up.
Okay, so first of all, why weren't you afraid of the cougar?
I don't know, because I like cats.
All right, okay. I wouldn't have been hanging around to see if the cougar came down out of the tree. So, Heidi, anything straight off the bat with that one?
I was thinking family tree. I don't know, though.
Well, trees can be a number of things, and they can be family, especially when you mention all the different trunks. But when you have a cat in a tree too, I'd be more inclined to look at digestive system issues. And especially with the wind coming in, it would say that like it's not quite a storm, but things that rattle you, it's rattling the tree. Mm-hmm. It would say that, okay, stress is minor. I'm going to say minor, but minor is probably not the word to use. But stresses in life don't help your digestive system. And so they just want you to be aware of that if you can do something to avoid the stress, and in the dream you climb down out of the tree so that, you're not getting shook around. So that's the right thing to do in the dream, like you ground yourself. Right. Then that would be good antidote. So it's not really, it's not saying, oh, here's a serious problem with your digestive system or anything like that. It's just showing the connection between stresses and things that would be a little bit more stronger than an upset stomach, if you know what I mean. But it's, something that you're probably aware you have, but you wonder what spikes it, what makes it get worse, and what makes it go away. And it's saying, so something like meditation, something that would ground you, not meditation, what would ground? That would be the ideal. A calming meditation would actually do it, because it calms your mind and stops you stressing about things that have come your way, crossing your path. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, just being more still, I guess, instead of running around too much.
Yes, yeah. And at the cougar, I think, though, because you're not afraid of it and you like it, the cougar is also a positive thing. But a cougar is a mountain lion, is it? I'm asking.
Yeah. It's a big cat. It's a yellow cat.
Okay. So there's something else in that. And I'm going to think about that, and I will get back to you on that one. But the cougar also represents a positive thing. But looking to see that it isn't hurt is good, because the cat's also going to represent your digestive system. And it's one of the common symbols. Animals in dreams can represent a number of things, but cats very, very frequently represent our digestive system. And because I've tried in Ireland, it makes sense when I say it to people. We use cat gut for many things, for sutures, for fishing lines, for many, many different things. And it's because of the fact that cat gut is used for so many things. They represent our own gut. But when I say it over here, people are a bit more puzzled about it. But yet I've seen it in so many American streams. It's definitely the case. It's just a common symbol to see. But here, because of the affinity for the cougar and the fact that you like the cats, that's being used in the dream to help you have a positive view of your own digestive system, because that's going to help it too. Because it's kind of like what we think. If we think well about ourselves, then our health returns. If we think badly about ourselves, instead of letting things eat away at you, you think positively and you get healthier. It's along those lines. But very, very simple.
Okay. Think positive.
Yeah, and don't get stressed. But of course, that's easy to say, don't get stressed. Of course, you're going to get stressed. So you need to find something that's going to help you ground yourself when you get stressed, because things are going to come at you, just by being here. So you got to find something that's going to do that for you. But it'll be easy because of the way that dream is, and the fact that you do get out of the tree without any difficulty. It will be easy. You will find something that works for you.
Okay.
All right.
Great. Yes.
Right. Thanks,
Thank you, Michael.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay, so we wanted to talk, Heidi, about channeling, and you have, I've pushed you on this, and pushed you, and I'm delighted, because you did write something about it, but then you also ran a course, and now you're gonna run it again on March 4th, so maybe you'll cover that too. Yeah,
the course that I did, I'm sure you did talk about it last
we did,
week
but you weren't here, so it was talking about it in your absence, and Susan, of course, worked with you, so you taught people how to channel, and everybody in the group, everybody who participated, managed to channel.
Yes, so everybody really did, which even for me, that's the expectation, but, the
hope.
Yeah, as I say, not everybody can channel, and I'll explain that a little bit in a minute. But it was great to see that everybody did channel, and they were very confident in their ability. And, with Susan being there, she did do a lot of chakra work and opening up, and that was a huge benefit, too.
I think that was a huge key to the success.
Exactly.
If you have blocks, sometimes you have a mental block, other times you have a blockage in your body and you need the energy flowing. But energy work that Susan does helped remove those blocks for the people that needed it and helped make the connection.
Yes, and so the benefit was just tremendous, and the energy in the room was wonderful. It was just an amazing experience for me, and as well for the people that took it. So they told me afterwards, but I believe them. No, it was really wonderful.
And you trans-channeled the whole way through. So
yes. I trans-channeled, which it was really nerve-wracking, and I don't know if I said this already, but I was like, okay, well, I need to sit down and write down an agenda and, really plan it out and everything like that. And every time I went to sit down and do that, my guides kept shouting at me, no, you're not to do that. And so I went to bed the night before, like sheer panic, trying to sleep. How am I going to do this? And of course, they're like, well, you're going to trans-channel the whole time, which I did do. And it worked out beautifully. And of course, afterwards, they tell me, like, every group is going to be different. So you can't stick to a rigid agenda. And throughout the whole course, the guides would be talking, and it would be a group thing, for grounding and connecting. And I'd go around the room, and then they would individually talk to each person for messages for them. And it worked out great. I could feel it. I could see, I can already feel and see them. But the heightened sense of awareness, it was like clear as day, even for me.
Well, I know it makes not many people trans-channel like that, a course. I mean, I've met trans channels, and it takes a lot of energy to do that. You have to be channeling for a long time usually before you hit that. But it makes me think of Esther Hicks, because Sandy's into Esther Hicks and talks about her all the time. And she had huge trepidation about getting up in front of a group without, her course agenda. And but of course, it means every single thing that she does, every time she does it, it's different, and so you can learn something from every single time.
And it was cool to be able to look back about on the day, because I did it on the Friday and then on the Sunday. And just looking back to, because I learned a lot too, when people are asking questions, I don't know the answer to everything, but I was trans-channeling the answers, and it was really enlightening, even for me. Because I don't know what I'm saying until afterwards. I'm like, oh, well, that's cool.
Very good, very good. Anyway, so you're going to do it again. So we finally persuaded you to do it, and now you're ready. You're going to bite the bullet and do it a second time? Yes.
That's how much I enjoyed it. So the next one is on March 4th, 5th, and 6th. It's the combined course again with the Dream Workshop, and this time with Susan as well. Susan's going to do a lot of balancing chakras, and she'll write more on what her side of the course is, but it's all included, and you can go to...
it's dream-analysis.com/workshop. But if you go to dream-analysis.com, you'll find it there anyway. Yeah. And a huge list of what's covered on the course is on there as well. And we're going to advertise it, but we haven't done it yet. Just need to make sure that you had the baby and you're okay and that you're still up for this. I know it's a month away, but still.
Oh, yeah, certainly.
Okay. So are you going to do your...
So I wrote this, I think, about a month ago. And I actually trans-channeled this as well. So if it sounds like I'm reading it, it's because I am.
So if there's any grammar errors, it's your guides?
Yeah, it's not my fault.
Perfect.
So it's just a little bit about channeling and who channels are, how we come to the earth plane, just to pique people's interest. So it starts off. The ability to channel is not a mystic power to be worshipped or fawned over. Neither is it one to be feared. Channels have been among us since the dawn of man. That is our current embodiment of species. Alas, before Homo sapiens, there were many physical forms our spirits embodied. These people were very much aware of the spirit world they just came from and were adept in communicating with the non-physical. Fast forward through the ages, the time when there was an intended separation between the physical and the spiritual worlds. Many talk of this separation of the veil being lowered, a time when the majority of people born on Earth were unaware of where they came from and why they were here. This forgetting, referred to as the blank slate, was necessary for the achievement and advancement of a new phase the souls were entering. Decidedly so, our earthbound souls still needed ways to interact with the spirit world. In fact, our physical bodies are designed with many fail-safes to this effect. Even while we are in our bodies, we are not always inhabiting them. This is because our souls need much reprise from our physical bodies. Our need and ability to sleep and thus dream is one way we connect with our higher self and guides. Altering our brains and state of mind through certain plants and rituals is another way. And of course, there is channeling.
Very good. That sounds like the start of a book, Heidi.
As I said, I didn't write this, but I'm told.
I'm going to type in a sentence of that on Google and see where you got that from. Without joking.
Well, I was told the guide that was channeling through me was a writer, so if that makes any sense. Channeling is not merely a metaphysical occurrence. We need to have the physiological makeup to be able to receive messages from vibrations that are above ours and translate them into a concise message. Our brains and spinal column play an important role in this, and I'll get into that at another time. There's a lot of detail there that even I don't understand. Guides that are of a vibration slightly higher than you will find most people's vibration on Earth. They sign up for and are staffed by you. Yes, there is a hiring process. When a person decides to come to Earth and carry with them the ability to channel with their guides and other spirits, select guides are chosen for this specific purpose, and there is a lot of practicing going on before that soul's chosen birth. The practice is necessary as the ability to access the parts of the brain and conjure enough life force to raise your vibration to the level of the guide or other spirit with whom you are channeling, while simultaneously delivering the message to the recipient and remaining grounded is not so easily achieved. Channels we meet today perhaps have spent many lifetimes as a channel, and sometimes these people are referred to as a natural channel, born and ready to shout your guide's advice for you just as soon as they learn to talk again.
Very good. When's the second installment?
I need to sit down and do that. I thought it was really interesting that the way the guide was going into the background of, we've done this many, many times, and I think most people who channel on Earth today, in today's age, have done it.
Yeah.
In several lifetimes. And so when people think, you can just do the course and you can channel and stuff, there's been centuries of background work, centuries of lifetimes, and there is no time frame in spirit, but a lot of groundwork done. And so it's not that it's easily achieved, but it's easy to become aware of who you are if you want to do the work.
You said in that about the veil being lowered, and it's interesting because there's Irish myths that talk about the veil being lowered. And so does that mean if we're heading into an age now where the veil is going to be lifted, that you're going to be out of a job?
Well, I hope not. I think it's been lifted in a different way because
I'm joking, obviously.
But still the people that are here on Earth that, obviously it's just because you can't channel or you didn't come here to channel doesn't mean your life is insignificant or you're... No,
everybody has a purpose and there are a certain number of channels among us.
Exactly. It's all about the tapestry and it's just, keying into what is your role in this. And there's so many channels that don't use their ability and don't give their gift to the planet. And I think that's a lot of what, even when I do readings, opening people's eyes to that and so that they can fulfill their life purpose.
Yeah. Hey, in your course, did you do any of that thing you do where you mess with somebody's brow chakra so they can feel it?
No, because Susan was there and she was able to do it so remotely, and I didn't want to mess with the work. But yeah,
and get a scolding.
Exactly. Yeah. There's a way you can just manipulate the energy to where you can feel it. It's just a sensation where you can, if you move your finger on somebody's brow chakra without touching it, they can feel that sensation. If you're tuned into energy.
Yeah. I was going to say, not everybody can do it. Because I thought
a lot of people can.
I thought, that's really cool. I'm going to try this on someone else. And it didn't work. And I thought, I didn't see the hidden strings Heidi was using. So, all right, excellent. And so the course again, March 4th. So if you just wanted to do the channeling, it's March 4th and then the evening of March 6th. But the whole idea is to do the lot. Excellent. And we'll have more about that and we'll advertise that later on. So I'm going to have a look at a dream here before we finish this segment, and it's called Inspiring Mary from James. He says, I'm outside walking to a client's house, a woman, to conduct a tarot reading with her. She meets me at the door of her home and invites me in. We walk to the room where the reading is going to take place. We walk in and there is another woman there. My client wants this woman present for the reading. As I set up, the women tell me about a friend of mine, Mary, who also reads tarot. They tell me that she is going to quit her job and devote the next 16 months to building her reading business up. The women then tell me that I inspired Mary to do it because I've done it. And that's the dream. And what this is about is very, very simple. It's saying your feminine side is super important when it comes to this connection. Mary is a mother energy that's symbolic in so many places, including in the Bible. So very strong female spiritual energy. And it's saying that's what you need to develop. And the 16 months tells us that readings are the dharmic path for you. It's not a business. The dharmic path, that is not a business. You get what you need on that path. So you look at it as, what am I meant to do on this path? And I'm going to do that. And then you know that you're going to get enough income and everything else to sustain yourself. But you don't look at it and say, what do I need to do in order to sustain myself? You look at it and you say, what am I here to do? And that's what I'm going to do on this path. And I think that was really your question, because you said you've been trying this for a while. And I can't read this while I'm talking, but I think you said you've been doing this for a while, and that is one of your big concerns, is that how do you make a business of it, because you're depleting your savings trying to get this going. Do you get anything else to add on that? Sorry to keep asking you, but
no. I was trying to work out the symbols, but as you know, I'm quite useless at that. So
you can cheat. You can cheat. You don't.
I know, but I always try to do it the other way because I want to be able to get them. But I think this person is already on the dharma path.
Yeah.
So that's a good dream to see.
Yeah. So, he's been following us for a while. So I think one of the first dreams we did in the show was from him.
And of course, dharmic represented by the number 6.
And it's a female energy path, which is why being put in touch with Mary and this other woman present in the dream, it's the female energy is super important on that path, because it allows you to remain panic-free, compassionate and open, not judgmental, all that sort of stuff, all those good things. So we're going to take a break and we will be back with you in a moment. Okay, listen up. This is important. Do you know your life purpose? Are you psychic? Do your dreams predict your future? Are you one of the X-Men? Your dreams give the answer to 3 of these questions. Find out which 3 by attending Michael Sheridan's Dream Workshop in Seattle on March 5th and 6th. Register at dream-analysis.com.
How clear is your vision for your life? Are you living on purpose, bringing your dreams to reality? I can help you to hear the quiet voice of your heart, guiding you in the right direction. I'm Susan Pullen with True Radiance Healing Arts. Let's talk about how you can create the life you want and be the person you were born to be. Contact me today at true-radiance.com.
Hello, this is Heidi. How can I help you?
You tell me. You're the psychic.
That's not how it works. I am a medium. I connect to your spirit guides and loved ones and pass on their messages to you.
So why did I call? Use the Force, Heidi.
Look, I can get answers to any questions you ask. That's not a problem. They can be about anything: relationships, career, children, finances, anything.
Anything? Okay. What's my favorite color?
Dave, your mom says you're being childish.
For readings with Heidi, go to angelsontheline.com.
1150kknw.com. It's why they invented the internet. We think. Alternative Talk, 1150 AM.
Welcome back to So You Think You're Awake with Michael Sheridan and Heidi Brooke. Our show is about dreams and their meanings, and our phone number is 425-373-5527. That's 425-373-5527 if you have a dream or dream-related question. And I have a little note on this. Hard look, Heidi. It says, remember Heidi's dream. So now that I've seen it, it says the title is 6 Pink Cupcakes. So do you want to tell us?
Yeah. And this was a dream I had 2 days after Sadie was born. Nothing to do with her, but I just thought it was interesting that there were pink cupcakes. So the dream started, I was in someone's kitchen, which felt like mine, and there was 6 pink frosting cupcakes on a silver tray. I admired them, thought they were really pretty. I was thinking of my own daughter at the time, and then left the room, came back in, and they were knocked on their side. And I picked them up, made them look pretty again, and left the room, came back, they were knocked on their side. And this happened a few times, and I think by the 6th time, actually, I came back in, and I was really annoyed that I had to keep picking these up, and who was knocking my cupcakes over?
Okay, so it's a really good dream. And it's fair to say you've done a lot of work on yourself in the last year.
Yeah.
I mean, we all do work on ourselves over periods of time, but there's times when we just decide to accelerate it and we grab the bull by the horns and really go after what we want to do, what we want to clear. And you've been doing that. So when you get a dream like this, it's saying that you came here to be on the karmic path, the dharmic path, which is unusual. Most people come to be on the karmic path. So you came here to be on the dharmic path, which requires an open and compassionate heart, which is what the six represents dharma, and the pink is about the heart, and it's about unconditional love. And so it's saying you're a vessel for unconditional love. But you got knocked on your side, or you took knocks in childhood, and or whatever they were, wherever they came from, they weren't necessarily meant to happen in your life, but they happened. And what you're doing, or what you have been doing, is fixing this, and that's what you're doing in the dream. You're fixing this, getting this back on order, making it stand upright, and it's on a silver tray. So this is really good. So it's like your spiritual royalty, because you've got the silver tray, and you've got a strong connection with your higher self. But you, in this case, it's saying it takes a few times to straighten yourself back up before you really get to what the state you want to be in. And the anger then coming up, being annoyed at people, that's what shows. So whatever you feel annoyed at gives you the clue, that holds the mirror up to say, this is where the issues come from. So that's typically important. And I see we have a caller on the line, but I'm looking around for Eric. And here he is. So we have a caller on the line. We have Christine, and we'll say hello to her in Seattle. Hi, Christine.
Well, hello there. How are you?
Very good. Very good.
Thank you so much for doing the work you do. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So I keep having this dream, and I don't know if you need my birthday, but it's Halloween of 1968. But I keep having this dream over and over, and I've had it for years now, probably for pretty close to, I'd say, 4 years.
Okay.
And it happens not every single night, but it does happen quite a bit, and it's a dream about kind of like being in an uncomfortable place, and something is happening on the water. There's either a tsunami going to happen, or we're in a boat trying to get away, or and it always seems to be the northern part of this region, kind of like maybe around Bellingham or Victoria or something like that, where I've gone a certain length, but I'm not sure what's going to happen next, except I can see that it's going to be sort of disastrous. And so I kind of make this effort to get away on a boat with my family and, get out of there.
Okay. So the northern part of the lake, does that mean anything to you? We just have to rule that out.
The northern part of the region here?
In the dream, that shows up. Like, did you ever live there? Were you there as a kid? That sort of thing.
No, okay. I don't have that. I didn't live there when I was a kid. I've always felt like the north is, if it ever hits the fan, then the north is probably where we all want to be heading, not the south, but that's just been a gut feeling.
Okay. All right. So, well, that would make sense why you'd have the dream there, because you have in your dream, or in reality, you're like, okay, there is a place to go here that's safer, so it's a good one then to have it in the dream. But of course, in the dream, that's the end where the problem is happening. I think that's what you said. So what this is going to be about is it's about a trauma that you experience. So a tsunami or any major, like a tidal wave, anything like that, is going to be about something that happens in life that just absolutely upsets everything. So that's why I'm saying trauma. And there's no way out of its path. If a tsunami is going to hit you, it's going to hit you, and then you have to pick up the pieces. So something went on in your life that hit you, where you experienced trauma, and it would be very emotional. It would have been very emotional. And the dream is saying, by having this dream now, in the last 4 years, it's saying you're now in a space where you can deal with the negative effects of that. And so it's positive in that regard, because we don't always know when we can look at things. Because if you've tried to look at it in the past, it may have been the wrong time, and it just kind of amplifies it. But when you have it in a dream, the dreams are saying now is an okay time to look at it. So there are other things in your life now that are positive that would give you the support you need in order to be able to look at something like this, because it does drain you looking back at something that was traumatic like this.
So sort of like being strong enough to detox.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So it's kind of it's where somebody butters you up and then gives you the bad news. So the butter up is you're able to deal with it now, and the bad news is you have to deal with it.
Yeah.
So it's.
Well, I think the other kind of side news of this is that it's been underneath everything all along.
Yeah. So it's something
to deal with it.
It'll be something you'll be delighted to have dealt with, because
right.
Then it won't be there anymore. But the dreams will stop. That'll stop the dreams. So the fact that these have persisted, it's saying this is something you must do. You must do.
That's interesting that you say that, because I have been dealing with something from my past for probably about a year, and the dreams have actually changed a little bit. So I think that kind of denotes some progress.
It does.
With dealing with it.
Absolutely. And that's what you expect. So if you're doing a therapy, dreams will show you what's being worked on. And here, if your dreams are improving, even if you can't analyze them, but you can see they're improving, like the tsunami isn't as bad as the last dreams and so on, then you know you're doing the right things. And
this whole notion of, carrying my family to safety, could this just denote carrying my lineage as far as I'm concerned in the person that I am, carrying that forward into safety as far as healing this so that my lineage actually heals as well?
It's all about you. So it's all about why dreams use family members and so on is it's like, well, if you wouldn't do this for yourself, would you do it for, and they'll put in somebody that's really close to you.
Okay.
So it makes you act. It makes you get up and do something. And but it does show you that you working on this will help everybody, because in the dream you do help everybody. And so what's very interesting too is it also indicates that you're here to work with other people and help other people, because that's what you do in the dream. And we use our abilities in the dream. So like it would kind of imply you have spiritual leadership or counseling skills, maybe a mix of those things, because you help people get out of the danger zone. Or you're telling them what to do in a state of panic. You're saying, here's what we need to do. Everybody follow me. And so that's really good. So it's saying, work on this, and then that ability is just going to come on in spades for you.
Oh, that's perfect. Yes, that feels quite right. It actually seems like that calibrates with what I'm feeling inside. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I love your show.
Okay, thanks a lot, Christine. Thanks for the call.
Right.
And
while we're on the symbol of birth, because that last dream was the cupcakes, of course, are birth, and it was right after the birth of my daughter. I wanted to remind you of a dream that I had, was it the day before I had Sadie? I was jumping out of an airplane with another person, and the white parachutes, of course, parachutes are mostly white, I believe, or anyway, they are in my mind. But I pointed out that they were white, and there was somebody jumped ahead of me first, and I was saying to them, "You're going too fast. You're going too fast." And then I jumped out of the airplane with my parachute, and I was going really slow. And at the time, we didn't really analyze it, but we just discussed that the parachute and jumping out is birth. And then I wanted to relay, my whole labor and birth experience was just under 3 hours. So it was a really fast birth.
Yes,
so it just shows you the dream was telling me that I'm going to have a fast birth. I won't agree with it probably because I was saying it was going too fast.
Yeah, you should probably sleep in the hospital is what that dream was.
Yeah, I barely made it.
Sleep in the delivery room.
But the airplane, of course, is you said it's not always a symbol for birth, but it's
well, in that
landing.
case it is.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you didn't need to analyze anything to know you're pregnant.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Know you're going to have a baby soon. So, yes, in that case, for sure it is. You brought it up, thankfully. The symbol this week is birth. So what does birth normally mean in a dream? And it's about pregnancy and birth are about a new aspect of you about to be born. So it's always positive. It's always a spiritual aspect. So it's always something that is saying, just like birth, that requires, and as a man, I feel like a cheat saying this, the result is worth all the pain and effort to bring the child into the physical plane. So in your dreams, it's saying whatever pains you have to go through, whatever labor you have to suffer is going to be worth it to bring this new aspect of you in. And usually it's a spiritual aspect, it's a spiritual ability, maybe something you already have, but it's going to come in spades, or something you've known that you have, but you've never seen it manifest in your life. So it's really, really good symbol. Always a good dream, because they're never about putting the effort in to bring in an aspect that brings you backwards.
Oh, yeah.
So let's have a look at this. I'm looking at the time. Okay, we're very, very short on time. Maybe I will skip ahead. Will you sing us a song there, Heidi?
Oh, you wouldn't want me to.
Let's see. We have one here. My father is carrying a stretcher up a mountain. Forest trees line either side of his path, and my dad is now near the top and looks thin and exhausted. And this dream is actually saying that you're working too hard, because your comments are that your dad worked a lot. He worked more than one job and was always taking naps and stuff because he had put in too much work. So it's saying you're working too hard. You're stretching yourself thin, basically, is what the pun of the dream is. It's not a bad dream. It's not saying that watch out for health issues or anything like that. It does point at the colon, does, with the forest trees and so on. But there's nothing majorly negative in that dream. So we're going to have to leave it at that for this week. And we're going to say thank you to Eric Ryder, our producer and engineer. Thank you to Heidi for your channeling segment. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
And all the input. And we will see you next week. Remember, send your dreams to radioshow@dream-analysis.com. Good luck.